Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today we're looking at something a little different.
Yeah.
It's called Awaken and Ignite Your World, the hidden power that will change your life forever.
Okay, so what's so different about this one?
Well, it's all about this idea that instead of trying to avoid challenges, we should be looking for ways to
Leverage them.
yes, exactly.
It's interesting because that's kind of what a lot of the research on resilience is pointing to.
Yeah, and achievement too, right?
Right.
Like the whole idea of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but in a more
Practical way.
Yeah, so have you ever felt like you're putting in the work but not quite getting where you want to be?
Oh, for sure.
Like you're kind of spinning your wheels.
Yeah, totally.
Well, this book kind of flips the script on how we think about success.
Okay, I'm listening.
So it might just help you reframe that whole, feeling of being stuck.
Interesting.
So the book actually starts off strong with this concept of
Chaos.
chaos as a catalyst. Okay.
Which basically says that instead of fearing chaos, we should be seeing it as like this
That's a
potential
launching pad.
for
Right.
growth
Yeah.
and innovation.
So it's like instead of seeing chaos as something negative,
Yeah.
we should see it as an opportunity.
Exactly. It's a total shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Like we're so conditioned to avoid chaos at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it, a lot of times it's during disruptions and things like
Yeah,
that.
when things get shaken up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That we are kind of forced to think outside the box.
And then you might realize, hey,
yeah.
I can do this thing that I never thought I could do.
Right. Discover strengths that we didn't even know we had.
Have you ever had to completely reorganize your kitchen
Oh, yeah.
because of a renovation or something?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And then you end up with this way better system.
Yes. That's a perfect analogy.
Right.
So it's not just about surviving chaos, but it's actually about using it to our advantage.
Harnessing it. Yes. And the book actually offers this really cool 4-step strategy called harnessing the power in chaoses.
Okay, what are the steps?
Well, I don't want to give everything away.
Right.
But one of the key steps is about identifying the root causes of the chaos.
Oh, okay. So it's figuring out
Yeah.
why is this happening in the first place?
Exactly. So are you constantly running late because you're overcommitted?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a deeper time management issue?
Right, so you have to get to the bottom of it.
Exactly. And then once you kind of pinpoint the source,
Then you
you can start turning that chaos into an opportunity for positive change.
That makes sense.
So it's about understanding the problem and then using those insights to create a plan to move forward, right?
Mm.
And the book shares some pretty incredible stories of people who did just that. Like there's this one woman, Sarah, who lost her job.
Oh, wow.
And she used that as motivation to launch her own business.
No way.
Yeah, and it ended up being super successful.
Mm. So it's sometimes those unexpected things can actually be a good thing.
Exactly. Sometimes those disruptions can be the push we need.
To go for it.
Yeah, to pursue those dreams that we've been putting off.
It's like the universe is giving us a sign or something.
Totally. Like a cosmic push in the right direction.
Love it.
Okay, so we've got this potential power in chaos, but how do we actually tap into it?
Right. How do we make it work for us?
That's where chapter 2 comes in.
Okay.
It's called the Liberation Revolution.
Interesting.
So what this chapter is all about is recognizing and shedding those constraints that hold us back.
Oh, okay. So things that are stopping us.
Yes. And those constraints could be mental blocks.
Oh, yeah. Those are the words.
I know, right? Or they could be societal expectations or even just limiting beliefs.
Yeah, stuff we've picked up along the way.
Exactly. All that baggage we carry around.
Definitely.
So basically, these constraints are anything that's stopping us from reaching our full potential.
And this book is saying that we need to get rid of them.
Yeah. And it actually cites studies from Harvard and Stanford showing that constraints have a real impact on achievement.
Really?
Yeah. And those same studies show the power of a strong support system.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and challenge you to grow
That makes sense.
can make all the difference, right?
Definitely.
So finding your tribe is key.
Your people.
Yeah. And there's this really cool story in the book about a woman named Maria
Okay.
who defied her family's expectations to pursue her art.
Oh, wow.
Even though they wanted her to choose a more practical career path.
So she went against the grain.
She did. And you know what? She built this amazing support network fellow artists who encouraged her.
Yeah.
And guess what? She ended up becoming internationally recognized for her work.
No way.
It's so inspiring.
That's awesome.
Like a reminder that sometimes you got to go against the grain to really embrace your true calling.
I love that.
Okay, so now this is where I think things get really fascinating.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Chapter 3 dives into how our emotions can actually be the fuel for this whole transformation.
Really? So it's like our emotions are actually a good thing.
Exactly. It kind of flips the script on this idea that emotions are passive.
Okay.
Instead, the book argues that they're actually like powerful motivators.
So that can help us achieve our goals.
Yes.
Never thought of it that way.
So instead of letting our emotions control us,
We can learn to control them.
yes, we can learn to harness them and use them to our advantage.
Okay.
And there's actually research from Columbia and the University of Texas
Wow.
showing that positive emotions like passion and enthusiasm can boost performance,
That's so cool.
and that linking emotions to goals makes us more likely to achieve them.
So it's like our emotions are this secret weapon.
Yes, we've had it all along.
We just have to learn how to use it.
Exactly. And the book is this great example of a guy named Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. He dreamed of being an athlete, but he faced some pretty serious health challenges.
Oh, wow.
And so he could have easily just given up on his dream, you know?
Yeah.
But instead,
He didn't.
he didn't. He used his passion for sports as fuel to overcome those obstacles.
That's amazing.
And he ended up making the national team.
No way.
It's such a testament to the power of our emotions.
When we learn to work with them.
Yes, not against them.
I love that.
Okay, so we're harnessing chaos, we're breaking free from limitations, and now we're fueling up with emotion.
Powerful stuff.
I know, right? But who's steering the ship through all of this?
Who's the captain?
That's where chapter 4 comes in. It's called Leading the Internal Revolution.
So it's about leadership.
Yeah, but it's not just for CEOs.
Oh, so it's for
Everyone. It's about self-leadership.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, like taking control of our lives and confidently moving towards our goals.
It's about being your own boss.
Yes. And there's actually research from Harvard and Stanford that's found a strong link between self-leadership, resilience, and achievement.
So it's not just some fluffy concept.
No, it really matters.
I'm curious to hear more about this.
Well, the book features the story of a guy named Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
Yeah, have you heard of him?
I think so.
He's like a really successful author and speaker.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that he used his own experiences overcoming some pretty intense challenges, like health challenges, psychological challenges, to become who he is today.
So he used his own struggles to help others.
Exactly. And now he's helping other people do the same.
That's so inspiring.
It is right. It's such a beautiful example of how self-leadership can empower us
Yeah.
to achieve our own goals, but also to use our experiences to lift others up as well.
It's about leading ourselves
Yeah,
and sometimes others.
towards a better future.
Okay. I'm definitely getting this book.
Me too. All right, so we're internal leaders now, ready to take on the world. But what happens when the world throws a curveball?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right, like what happens when we face those unexpected challenges?
Yeah.
That's what chapters 5 and 6 dive into.
Oh, okay.
So they're all about facing challenges head on.
Whether they're coming from the outside or from inside ourselves.
Yes. It's about recognizing that growth comes from those moments of friction.
Not from avoiding them.
So it's about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
In a way, yes.
Like sometimes we have to lean into those challenges.
Exactly.
And the book uses Elon Musk as an example.
Oh, Elon Musk.
You know him, right?
Of course.
Well, they talk about how, like, the early failures of SpaceX didn't deter him at all.
Like he didn't let it stop him.
He just kept pushing and adapting and innovating.
And now look at him.
I know, right? He's like practically synonymous with pushing boundaries.
Totally.
And there's actually research from Yale showing that having a positive outlook on challenges can actually lead to greater success.
So it's not about pretending challenges don't exist.
Right.
It's about how we choose to view them.
Exactly. It's all about our mindset.
I like that.
And then when it comes to like conquering the self, the book talks about Steve Jobs.
Oh, wow. Steve Jobs.
You know how he got ousted from Apple?
Yeah.
And he had to face all this like self-doubt.
But then he came back.
Stronger than ever.
That's amazing.
And that actually resonates with research from Harvard on the importance of learning to overcome those internal battles.
So it's like Sometimes our own minds
Yeah.
are our biggest obstacles.
Right. It's like all those what ifs and doubts that we have,
Yes, totally.
they can really hold us back.
It's crazy how powerful our minds are.
I know, right?
Like we can be our own worst enemy.
And so this part of the book really highlights that our greatest wins often come from overcoming those internal battles.
It's about recognizing that we have the power to change our own stories.
Yes. And to push past those limitations.
That we put on ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've faced the chaos,
Right.
we've embraced change, and we've tackled those inner demons.
Yes. But how do we keep this momentum going?
Right. How do we make it last?
That's where chapter 7 and 8 come in.
Okay.
It's about mastering the game of life for long-term success.
The game of life.
Yeah. And building strategies for, what was that phrase again?
Continuity and excellence.
Yes. Continuity and excellence.
So it's about recognizing that success isn't a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like that. Can you unpack that game of life concept a bit more for me?
Yeah, so it's about understanding the bigger picture.
The long game.
Yes. And realizing that life is strategic.
Like we need to adapt our approach as needed.
Just like in a game.
So it's about being adaptable.
Yes.
And always learning.
Exactly. And being intentional about the moves we make.
So it's not just about like randomly going through life.
Right.
We have to be strategic.
Exactly.
And the book actually brings up Elon Musk again.
Oh, Elon Musk.
But this time they're focusing on his strategic thinking.
Okay.
Like he sets these incredibly ambitious goals.
Yeah.
But he also breaks them down into manageable steps and develops plans.
So it's not just about dreaming big.
Right.
It's about having a plan.
Yeah. Having the roadmap to actually turn those dreams into reality.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Oh, what's that?
It seems like having a clear plan and strategy is essential for success.
You're totally right. And you know what? Speaking of achieving big things, the book also talks about Oprah's journey.
Oprah.
Yeah, it's like a perfect example of playing the long game.
How so?
Well, she went from overcoming poverty to building this massive media empire.
Oh, wow.
And her story really highlights the power of strategic thinking and resilience.
Like she's faced so many challenges.
Countless challenges, but she's always found ways to adapt and come back stronger.
That's incredible.
I know, right? And it reminds us that success is a marathon, not a sprint.
So we have to pace ourselves.
Exactly, and keep moving forward, one step at a time.
I like that.
It's a powerful reminder to keep going even when things get tough.
Because they will get tough.
They will.
Yeah.
But we can do it.
We can.
As long as we have the right mindset and the right strategies.
I agree.
And maybe a little bit of chaos to push us along the way.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful reminder that even someone like Oprah, as accomplished as she is, didn't do it alone.
That's so true. It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I don't like that.
Right. And chapters 9 and 16 really highlight that.
Oh, how so?
Well, they focus on building a strong support network.
Okay.
And embracing self-renewal.
So it's about taking care of yourself and having people to support you.
Yeah. And what's interesting is there's all this research, places like Northwestern and Columbia, showing that having a good support network isn't just about like feeling good. It's actually linked to greater success.
Really?
And well-being.
Wow. So finding your tribe
Yeah.
is actually a strategic move.
It is. It makes sense though, right? Like having people who believe in you and who offer advice.
Yeah, and celebrate your wins.
Exactly. It can make all the difference.
I like having your own personal cheer squad.
Totally. And the book highlights Sheryl Sandberg.
Oh, yeah.
She's been very open about how mentors and supporters throughout her career have contributed to her success.
That's cool.
It's like a reminder that asking for help and building those connections is a strength, not a weakness.
I like that.
Right. We don't have to do it all alone.
Definitely not.
Okay, and speaking of taking care of ourselves, the book also emphasizes the importance of self-renewal.
Well, that's so important.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we can't pour from an empty cup,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just like we need to recharge our phones.
Yeah.
We need to recharge ourselves.
Totally. So whether it's taking a break or getting out in nature or spending time with loved ones, it's about finding those activities that replenish our energy.
And bring us joy.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like hitting the reset button,
Yeah. Giving ourselves permission to step back and refocus.
Exactly.
So we can come back stronger.
It's an investment in our well-being.
And ultimately in our success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This part of the book really drives home the point that growth is a continuous journey.
It's not a destination.
Right. We need to keep learning and adapting and finding ways to refuel so we can keep moving forward.
Okay, so we've talked about chaos and liberation and emotions and self-leadership.
Yeah, and support and renewal.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have, but we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
There's more. We're nearing the end of our deep dive into Awaken and Ignite Your World.
Okay.
But there are a few more nuggets of wisdom that we can't leave behind.
Okay, hit me with those nuggets.
So, chapters 10, 11, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20 all touch on these essential skills for success and mindsets.
Like what?
Things like creativity and innovation focus, prioritization, positive thinking.
Oh, that's a lot.
I know, right? But the book does a really good job of breaking it all down.
And did they offer any, like, concrete strategies for developing those skills?
They did, and that's what I love about this book.
Yeah.
It's not just about theory.
It's about practical application.
Yes. So, for example, instead of just telling you that creativity is important,
They actually give you tools.
yeah, like exercises and prompts to help you spark your creative thinking.
And that's cool.
And then when it talks about focus,
Mm-hmm.
it introduces techniques like the Pomodoro technique
Okay, I've heard of that.
to help you minimize distractions and work more effectively.
So it's like a toolbox.
Yes, a toolbox for success
Well, all the tools you need.
to actually implement these concepts in your life.
I love that analogy.
And one of the key takeaways is that all of these elements work together.
Oh,
Like creativity, innovation, focus, prioritization, and positive thinking.
they all reinforce each other.
Yeah, to create this powerful foundation for growth and achievement.
So it's not about mastering one skill in isolation.
Right.
It's about developing a holistic approach.
Exactly. It's like building a house.
You need a strong foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all the essential components working together.
To create a stable structure.
Exactly. And this book gives you the blueprint for that foundation.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It really has. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your final thoughts on the book's core message.
Okay.
What do you think the author really wants us to take away from all of this?
I think the core message is that success isn't about avoiding challenges. It's
Yes.
about transforming how we approach them.
So instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks,
Yeah.
we should see them as opportunities.
For growth and transformation.
Exactly. It's about embracing the unknown, stepping outside of our comfort zones, and believing in our ability to handle whatever comes our way.
And the book leaves us with this really thought-provoking question.
Oh, what's that?
What if, instead of seeking a life free of problems, we sought a life where we were strong enough to handle any problem that came our way?
Wow, that's powerful.
Right. It's a complete reframing of how we view challenges.
Instead of striving for a problem-free life,
We focus on building the inner strength and resilience
to navigate those challenges,
with grace and determination
it shifts the focus from external circumstances.
to our internal state of being
And it empowers us to take ownership of our lives.
and our responses to the challenges we face,
It's like taking back the power,
to choosing to be the hero of our own story.
no matter what obstacles we encounter.
Exactly. It really is.
Hmm.
And it's something we can all do too, right?
Yeah,
It's not just for like super successful people or anything.
exactly.
It's about adopting that growth mindset
Believing in our potential.
and being willing to push ourselves.
Yeah, beyond what feels comfortable.
Yeah, like what if, instead of asking, what if I fail? We started asking, what if I succeed?
I love that. It's like flipping the script on fear.
And doubt.
Yeah. Choosing to believe in the best possible outcome.
And even if we don't achieve the exact outcome we had in mind, the process of stretching ourselves and learning new things and building resilience,
Yeah.
that's incredibly valuable.
Totally. Like it sets us up for future success.
Right.
And it equips us to handle whatever challenges come our way.
So it's like the journey itself becomes the reward.
Yeah. We learn, we grow, we become more resilient along the way.
It's about embracing the process of becoming.
Not just focusing on the destination.
Exactly.
This deep dive has been so inspiring. I feel like I'm walking away with a whole new perspective on challenges.
That's great to hear.
And a renewed sense of possibility.
That's what it's all about. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. It's up to each of us to take these insights and actually put them into action.
Yeah, like to awaken to our own potential.
Ignite our passions.
And create a world that reflects the best versions of ourselves.
Beautifully said.
This has been such an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into Awaken and Ignite Your World.
As much as we have.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep igniting those sparks of change within yourselves.